मॉर्निंग वेलकम बैक सो टुडे इज थर्सडे सो आज हम देखते हैं कि व्हाट इज मार्केट डूइंग टुडे सो we'll start with the same process. So if you would have noticed, I keep the process of doing this video similar so that I want you to get used to the one particular process. It has to be anything, you can make it on your own, but idea is that if you have to come to discipline, you have to make a process, even if it sounds very stupid, doesn't matter. Make a process. While you make a process, you will realize you're able to track the stock index very cleanly, and you are able to take a good decisions overall. Generally, try it for a week, couple of weeks, and then you will see the change that happens in your own way of analyzing the market. And if it is okay, you can make your own rules and just follow it. Even if it sounds very incomplete, unstructured, no, don't worry. Just start following it. Eventually, you will polish it, change it, write it down somewhere, maybe do some changes. That's completely all right. But start with something that is good for you. So now we are in the market pulse page. Right now, what we are seeing that market is recovering from the lows. PCR is good. It is in between 50-50. But there's some put writing that I saw in the morning of around 23,200. So we might see some bounce about 23,200. So we have to wait for that to, maybe writing becomes more prominent. But I think overall there is a writing around 23, 150, 100 level, so on. So we will see over the day how it progresses, especially in second half. So if you come down in sector right now, the performing sector is as of now telecom, and metals are recovering. The metals have been beaten down since last, I think, more than a week or so. I've been telling this every time. Today they are seeing some recovery, and along with the recovery, they are seeing good kind of open interest buildup. So, which means what, I don't want to take this as a short continuation unless the lows are getting broken. So today is a day for me to observe what the metals will do overall in the day. So if they are recovering, they are making a base, trying to go to the high or close around the high in the day. That is a clue number one for me to know that yes, whatever shorting was right now, it is under pause. Now we will see some kind of a bounce back, and then maybe the continuation rally. So as of now, the thought process is that it is a retracement to the down leg that has happened, and then once that retracement is over, then we can see continuation of down pattern. Overall, metals are looking right now bearish, but this is right now a temporary pause. So we want to take a note. If we are short, we have to hold. If we want to take a long, then we have to be very cognizant. Take a smaller risk, which is maybe today's low, but that is a condition that today's high has to break and close above. So that is a risk parameter that you should play with. If you want to be playing the opposite of the rally, then you should take a very smaller risk, and don't worry if it is getting wiped out, that your stop loss is hit. It's okay, let it go. But at least that will help you to not keep it things on a hold. You will just follow the trend as it happens. Okay, now banking continues to rally as of now. So far, Hindalco is showing a top open interest. Price is not moving in the same direction though, because I think the metal we saw overall, although it is recovering, but Hindalco price is currently down by 0.3%, but the open interest is rising. So want to see if it is short or long, could be short. We'll see over the day. So as of now, Vedanta is a top gainer along with ICICI Bank and IndusInd Bank. So private banks continue to rally. A few days back, we saw the PSU banks were rallying. Right now, we are seeing the private banks are rallying. So which means what, the bank Nifty's balance is right now maintained. It is rallying on back of the earlier PSU banks and now private banks. So now if the PSU banks, which were right now getting corrected, if they start to rally and this along with the private bank, then we will see a very good rally in Bank Nifty. So I have a good hopes for the Bank Nifty basis the data. So currently, writers, as you can see right now, not just sitting on 23,200, but also on 23,250. It's a good sign. And also ICICI Bank, you will see, is a put tightening happening of 1320. Yesterday, I was discussing with one of the user, and we both happened to spot that there was a 1310 put writing happening in the ICICI Bank, and at that time ICICI Bank was near to 1280, 1282 something, and that we saw a rally happening since yesterday in a one day, and now at this point when we are about 1310, it is showing a writing of 1320. So it's a good sign. Coming down to market breadth, if you see from the breadth perspective, market is bearish. because there are 46 stocks that are showing bearish. But what we will see in the bearish is that how many stocks have a fall which is more than 2-3%. So there are quite a stocks where there's the fall is more than 2%. But what we have to see that are these seasonal stocks or how is it? But regardless of what they are type of the stocks, what we are seeing that weightage of bearish stocks is currently higher, and they have a good percentage of fall. 2.60 being the highest and lowest being 1%. It is not a good sign. Lowest has in at least for the top 10, 20. And when you go to bullish, bullish has a higher gain of 3% and all. But number of percentage above one is very very less, hardly three stocks. Okay, so as the day progresses, if we start to see the change in composition, at least there's a 50-50 situation of bullish and bearish, and then the bearish stocks start to reduce the percentage of fall maybe by let's say 30-40%. That is when you know that today's low or whatever low it makes, it is going to hold. But currently, just by looking at the market breadth, it is a bearish sign, and we have to be very, very careful of what we do long in this market unless we get more clarity. So if you're bullish in the market basis couple of days the way we have been moving, so what I said, just follow that. Allow bullish stocks number to grow, allow bearish stocks percentage of fall to grow, then you know that there's a shift of balance happening, and that's when you have to take your decision. Currently, just wait and watch. This is one of those days. Or maybe pick a stock which you think has a limited risk for you and then accordingly trade it. If we come down in the market pulse in a war zone, we have three stocks. Obviously, ICICI Bank because it has a good put rating and it is above the level right now currently. Bajaj Finance is showing a short build-up, although it's a finance stock, but it is currently showing short build-up, and the price is down by 1%. Nifty is trying to recover. Again, there's a good open interest change happening that we are observing since last 2-3 days, which means the bulls are trying to recover all the lows that we are making since last 2-3 days, although they are not able to push it beyond 23,400. Once they do that, then that's the point. Then I'll be very sure that we will move further and very swiftly. So currently, good sign that it goes to the lows, come back, try to form a base, and again try. But since last couple of days, we have been observing that by the end of the day, it falls to the lows. So today, if it crosses the high and also close above high, that is the first sign that I will say that the low made today would sustain for some days or maybe a week or so. So that is for later to judge. Right now, what we see overall is bearish, trying to recover. We will see how the put writing goes in the day, and then we will accordingly decide. If you come down and see top gainers, top losers, and then the most active open interest right now, top is Hindalco and Vedanta. Metals are trying to recover, as I told you. ICICI Bank has a good open build-up. Tata Steel has a as a open interest building, but I am presuming that's on the short side because that is what has been happening since few days. But we will see how the close of Tata Steel is today. If it is closing below 195, then you know where the next stop is. We have discussed this already. Overall, I wish that during the day, if I want to be bullish and if we close at a day high, we see a good open interest building in most of the Nifty top stocks so that we know the recovery would be smooth. Okay, so now coming down, and we'll see if we have anything under intraday log. Usually, so early I don't see, as I told you, no. Right now, there's nothing that has come up so far. Filters are very strict, so it's okay. I'll wait for the time. Till such time, we will watch the CPR. So CPR, if you see, there are 23 stocks which has a narrow CPR. So narrow CPR typically where the action is, but if I want to mix it with the option data, so I currently have three stocks in the picture. One is Nifty, which has a narrow CPR. Second is ICICI Bank, that action we are seeing right now, and Bajaj Finance. So Bajaj Finance is currently below the bottom pivot, which is 885. Currently we are at 874, so it's a bearish stock, and we saw that in the war zone also. It's down by 1%. And ICICI Bank is reverse. It has a top pivot of 1291, and right now we are much above that. So it's a bullish sign, and it is ascending, which means the current CPR is higher than the previous CPR, and it is right now holding above top central pivot, which is your 1290. And As you can see, it is holding below bottom pivot, which is, but it is still ascending. So stance is bullish for the CPR, but the stock is going down. So maybe if a stock has to reverse, so if it reverses, then we have to watch the levels of 886 because today it is showing as a Virgin CPR. What Virgin CPR means is that stock opens below the pivot. It hasn't touched the pivot yet, and what others, every traders anticipate when they trade CPR is to see that if stock is reversing, then the reversal could at least happen till the central pivot, and then it might continue. So if the stock start to reverse, now when do you see it start to reverse? Is when at least it start to sustain 880, if not more. Then you will know that it might attempt to make a pivot. But right now, given the way stock is, it is bearish. We will watch it. Okay, so and now what we will try to see after this is OI profile. OI profile is very important to understand where there's open, where the call writers are shifting, put writers are shifting. You will get a fair idea over here. So if you see the more addition happening in the put side, so then you will know. So currently the wall is firmly sitting at 23,000. It keeps on drifting, but overall it remains. It has remained in this series overall. If you would have seen, we have not broken below it, which gives me a sense that this is going to be a very, very strong support, not just for this month, but overall also. But that is very early. I want this, at least this to, there should be any above strike which starts to form an open interest on the put side. Then this wall will be very safe and secure, at least for this month, if not more. So we will see that thing. So if I come down to see, currently, if you see there's a good put writing, can you see this? The length of the bars actually decides the amount of open interest that has been added. So if you see 23,000 has 40 lakhs open interest added. Okay, which means someone has really formed this particular point and they are sure that we will not break. Now we are setting into the POC zone. POC zone is what your point of control where there's a maximum traction. And if you would have seen my videos 3 days back, also I have mentioned this 23,200 is a strike where every time Nifty has some very deep action, which means what? After 23,000, this is going to be your next base. 23,200. This is going to be a good support. And every day whenever we fall, the writers will actually try and save this every time. It has not happened just one time, at least 3 to 4 times we have seen that. So there's a good open interest rising, which means there is a short. People are trying to, add, write these particular put. Now what we have to see is this particular 250 strike, it turns into positive, and then we see some kind of a build-up happening over here. So this is not sure that there's a build-up opening over here. But if we want to see a build-up coming over here and then the OI reducing on this side, that is where you know that the next stop would be somewhere around 23,500. So that is going to happen once you see the activity of put writing more and call reducing more. So we have to watch as the day progresses. We'll see Bank Nifty just to see where the Bank Nifty base is building so that we know. Right now, the Bank Nifty's base is around 54,000. Call wall is 55,000. This is very interesting now, which means what? Currently, we are sitting above this wall. Okay. The wall, which is the highest open interest, is around this. So there's a good, tussle going on between 55,000 call and put writers both. And if you see, writers are trying to come up slowly up to 55,500. And even there's some activity visible at 56,500. That is far actually. In between, there are writing that we have. So what we have to watch, see, there's a good reduction happening. This is not by the huge number. It's very, very minimal. But what I'm saying that there's some kind of a far call writing is not that prominent. It is there at 56,000, but it is not around this zone, which means what? If we are trying to sustain 55,200, which is right now where we are at, and we might see a rally at 55,500. And then at that time, if we start to see more open interest reduction in the call side and addition into the put side, then you know that the next stop is 56,000. Over there, we might stop because there's a good, huge resistance built up over here. But currently, the way is this that we are trying to build a base. Try to see if we can add writing over here and then the stop around 56,000. Okay, so this is how I'm looking into data right now overall. I think this is it. You can then eventually check the intraday screener as it show the data. Right now, it is not showing anything. So that's it. I wish that you have a good trading day ahead. Thank you.